everyone. So, on my last video, I told you my coming out story, and I mentioned the word pride. Now, pride to me is a strong meaning, and it just basically means loving yourself. Now, my video, a lot of them usually are about my sexuality or my religion. Today I'm going to dive a little bit deeper into why I find pride to be most important in my life. I don't know if you can see it, but right here, these two little lines right here, and the way I speak, I mean, to me it sounds normal, but when I play back the video, I can tell I have a lisp, and I hear the way I speak. It's because of this. I was born with a birth defect called a cleft lip. Now, actually, my term of what I have is called a bilateral cleft lip and palate. Now, bi, we all know, means two, such as bisexuality, where both of the sides of my mouth, right here, these two pieces, the little line right here, was not fully formed, as well as my nose and the palate, or the soft, fleshy part known as the roof of your mouth, was not fully formed, as well as my nose. So, when I was born in 1982, during the sonogram, all my parents knew was they were having a healthy baby girl. And when I was born, like I said, the roof of my mouth was not fully formed, my lips, my top lip was not fully formed, as well as my nose. And because of this, I had breathing problems as a child, I had sleeping problems, I even had eating problems. My parents had to use this kind of like bird feeder type thing. It was like a long syringe or tube looking thing, and they had to feed me. And whenever I was able to drink out of a bottle, the nipple of the bottle, you know how it has like the small hole so you can suck out of it? My hole had to be at least, I want to say about that much bigger so I can suck out of it. And the reason why I know about it is not only because I have it, but my baby sister Casey has the unilateral, which is the one side cleft lip, and hers is just the one side lip with the nose. And then my niece Mackenzie, who is a year and a half, has the unilateral cleft lip, but then she's got the palate as well. The roof of her mouth was open. And the reason why I'm telling you this is because since I was born, I've had a fight. When I was younger, my parents had to fight to get my surgeries done because it was expensive, and they actually did what most parents wish they could have done back in the day, which I had March of Dimes help me out, as well as the city of New York, and I had a lot of my surgeries at a younger age than I was supposed to because I was the guinea pig for New York City Medical, and so they did a lot of my surgeries at a younger age than I was supposed to. So this is part of who I am. I mean, if you met me on the street and I became your friend, the first thing I would specifically tell you about me is I have a cleft lip. And it's not something you notice nowadays. You may see it but not really ask questions. But I was always taught to just go ahead and say it, because if they're laughing at me, at least I know why. So growing up, I had to have a really thick skin, and that's probably one of the reasons why I got into sports. So my parents had all these surgeries done for me. My last surgery, I was 15, and I had a nose job, and I missed about a month of school, so that was really tough because it was during, finals week during one of my semesters. But, I mean, I wouldn't change who I am for the world. I had to wear braces for 12 years. I got them at 4, and I got them off at 17. In between that, I also had retainers. When I was 11, I had surgery to close up the rest of my palate. I had a tooth behind this front line here, and I had to move that forward, and then I had to wear a mouth guard for at least 6 months over my braces. Let's see what else. I've had speech therapy. When I was 8, I fought the Board of Education to allow me into normal classes. They had me in a special ed course since I think I was about 5, because, I mean, I'm an actual smart kid. I have dyslexia. So for me, learning is a little difficult. But if you teach it to me once or show it to me once or twice, I usually catch it like that. So I'm more of a hands-on student. So whenever the work got boring, because it was the same monotonous crap over and over and over again, I used to act out, and they called me emotionally undisturbed, I believe was the term they called me. I was 8, fucking 8 years old, and you're calling a kid misunderstood and undisturbed. So we fought against the New York City Board of Education and won, but it was like the most heart-wrenching time of my life. I was 8. It was around Halloween back in 1990. I had to sit in this room full of adults just talking about me. Like, I was like nothing. I sat there literally just listening to them talking to me, and I snapped, I'm guessing, because all I remember was climbing up on top of the desk and yelling at them like, "Hey, I'm here. You're talking about me. Don't I get to say what's going on?" So later on that day, we went and I did a interview with, I believe it was Channel 5 News back at the time for New York, and we won, and I was in a mainstream class the rest of my life. But my birth defect is very important to me because it's made me who I am. And I just want to say that if you do have a cleft lip out there, or some form of it, you can always go to Operation Smile, which is a great organization. My own doctor, who still works at NYU Medical Center in New York City, works for it. His name is Dr. Court Cutting. And there's a great movie on it called Smile with, I believe it's one of the Pantera or Haley. I don't know. Just go look up Smile. It's an awesome fucking movie. And then you got Roman Downey, who does a lot of the stuff for Operation Smile on TV. But what I'm going to do real quick, because I have my photos up on Facebook, and you can go ahead and find them at luckycharmer010@gmail.com to see them. But you can't really see them that well, so I'm just going to show you real quick my baby pictures, and just over the course of, my surgeries. And real quick, my surgeries were, I had 4 from the time I was born to the time I was a year. I had 1 when I was 11 and 1 when I was 15. And I still have a couple more that I could have, but I don't want them. And because of the surgeries I had, especially the one when I was 11, where they removed a piece of bone from my left hip and put it in the upper right jaw of the gum line, I'm now a 1/4 inch short on my left side. So with that, I'm just going to show you a couple of pictures. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I have, no shame in who I am and how I was born, but here we go. Alright, it's my Uncle Jimmy, myself. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see some of them, but you can see some of them. Look right here, the lip, right there. You can see some, and some of them, I mean, I can see them, obviously, because they're my photos, but you can see the lip, and some, and it's just, I mean, I was a happy kid, I'm not gonna lie, but having, the birth defect I do have, it has changed. And actually, I am gonna show you real quick. I have them on my computer. I know you're kind of staring at the keyboard, but I actually set it up, and I'll show you real quick. Some of these photos. See? This was April 1983, so I was a couple months old. About 8 months old. It's my senior picture. You can see the nose difference. Yeah, see? You can really see up in the lip now. I was 6 months old. There I was about 4. Okay, I'm 14 years old in this photo, and look at the nose. I don't know if you can see the difference in the nose. See how flat it was? That was before my nose job. This was when I fought the Board of Education in 1990. This is actually from my medical terminology book. from last semester, but this is a unilateral cleft lip and palate. See how the nose is kind of not fully formed. Unilateral. It's one side of the lip, and then you get one side of the palate and the roof of the mouth. And I was about 10 months here. As you can tell, my nose is still flat, but the lip is fully formed, and by then my palate was mostly closed. And that's all the photos I have for now. If there are any photos of me when I was younger, I really don't know where they are. Because of my birth defect, even though I did play sports and I was happy, there was a time when I was depressed, and I used to hide in my room and play by myself, obviously because I didn't play with my sisters, I didn't play dolls or anything. But my grandmother, from what I know of, has the photos of when I was born, but they're hidden in her attic, and since she died when I first came back from Iraq 3 days after I came back from Iraq in '06, I haven't been in her house since. So, I mean, if their photos are there, hopefully one day I'll see them. But this is my birth defect. This is who I am. And I wouldn't change it for the world. So, I'll check y'all later.